Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. So definitely an interesting day. What are we on now? Day 4 of the move, starting on Monday. We had that small reversal. Didn't quite get green in places, but the Dow was well off the lows with the doji close. And then big day Tuesday, taking back the moving average, followed through yesterday, and then today a little back and forth until finally the S&P pushed in the afternoon, as because of Mexico talks and tariffs being put off perhaps. So anyway, technically we filled that gap, and we talked all week how potentially we could fill the gap from 28.40 to 28.50. To be careful, too short, too fast, just in case. So hopefully you made some money long and you didn't short too early. And if you're short into tomorrow's job number, just know you could probably be up another 15 handles, which you could probably short some strength and trade out of it. Or if it's not a friendly report, or if we're down 20 handles, maybe you could buy, but at this point, definitely have to have a reason why you're in stuff. Let's just get to it. If you look here, the chart has me cash. Here is that gap. We've been talking about it. It filled, actually went a tiny bit higher. They always do. This is when we took out 27.63. This is when we took and reclaimed the 200-day, which should have been your, cover your shorts, get long, and then, I sold most of it into this move. This was your 2-day move. And then today, gave you another trade. Got above 28.27. It started above there, went below it, got back above it, and then filled the gap with a high here of 28.52. So this no longer is a zone. This is no longer here. It is actually filled. Now you have an actual pivot, to see how we do tomorrow. Do we open above it with, I hate friggin' hoping for like bad news to get the market up. That's horrible. Real highs happen when markets are strong and et cetera, and news is good, not when you're hoping for bad news for cuts. But anyway, this was your parabolic move, not even parabolic, this is your 90-degree move up into some resistance. At this point you can almost, put this like this a little bit. And now, since this is filled, you can almost go like that. This is now support. We'll see what happens tomorrow, 28.22. Tomorrow, does it open above 28.22, or does it open below 28.52, or does it open above 28.52, or do we see how it trades based on the actual news, with the report? Some want a little bit of a weaker report to get the Fed closer. I don't think we want a disaster, but anyway, at this point, the oscillator went out neutral. Here it was minus 60. Okay, hopefully you did decent with it. You look back on the trade, you always think about how you could do things different. Well, it's a good idea to dissect what you did and how you reacted. I know for me, I wasn't long on Monday. I did get long on Tuesday into Wednesday because we remember that whole strategy on the gap up that held and then buying through the 60-minute high and et cetera, and then we chose some stocks. My stocks weren't great. High beta tech was wishy-washy. I had to really buy them when they were weak and maybe play them into a push up, and they were definitely a little muted here and there, so it wasn't a great week for me. It was a good week. I made money all 4 days, which was good. I needed that. And and now we'll see what happens. It's been a little choppier. What do I mean? Well, look at Amazon. Amazon is right here. Okay, if it led the market, it would have filled this gap up to 1804, 1808. It didn't. Okay, and now it did kind of take back the 200-day, got above 1753. I do think there's a chance, it gets up into here and at least fills this gap, especially if the market wants to be a little strong into tomorrow. So this high here is what, 1760. So if tomorrow, if it's flattish and trades through 1760, chances are you can get a nice little trade up to 1772, or maybe a little bit more. This did hold above the 1715, but it's not leading. Google, I played a few times with everybody. Ultimately, I tweeted to you guys that you could be long it. If I was here tomorrow, I might be long it, but since I'm not going to be here, I'm going to be traveling to South Carolina for my nephew's graduation. I bought some options for next Friday because the call I made is I think it gets into this gap and fills it before it breaks 1027. We'll see. If you're at your desk and it trades above 1058 and you can catch it, maybe it gets above, stays above, and you can make another 9 points, and then here's your gap for me. I just have the calls just in case. This gap never got filled. This one I do think does get filled, but we'll see. Facebook didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Here's your red dog reversal, and this was just a choppy move. And if high beta tech plays a little bit more catch up, that'll give it the push, but this isn't where the action has been. Apple was a little bit better. Apple actually, if you had to be long something, this held above the 188.14. This actually took out a prior high. Lots of tech names did not do that, so this is showing some strength. Maybe it wants to go a little bit more. I'm not in it again because I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but if I was taking things, if there was no jobs report tomorrow, I'd probably be in this. So tomorrow, if they open them lower, maybe you could buy versus today's low. If they open it higher, see if they hold this, and then there's some room. Netflix is still hanging around. This is the trend line I drew in the morning. Didn't get much above this. This is 358.21 now. If it gets above this 358.21, I guess there's a push towards 363 or 360. Yeah, that's what this was supposed to be. Probably 363 or 365. That's the last little push. If you play for little pushes, but I wouldn't be long into that push. But we'll see. Hold on. What is this? Okay, nothing. This is what Netflix looks like. A little better than the other names, but right into a descending trend line. We'll see if it breaks it. Last time you had a descending trend line down here, it was obviously different. This was different. It went, and then it's been in the consolidation mode since. So we'll see what happens this time. We'll see. As far as Beyond Meat, you know what? I did tweet to you guys earlier on, saying, hey, I don't expect you to follow me, but for some reason, just in case this gets silly, I'm going to buy the 105s. They were $4. Obviously, we don't even know if it's going to hold up after hours. I did trade it with the VTF. They saw me buy it around 107, 108. Sold some into the 110s, then I bought the 110s. I sold some into the 112s, and now I'm just sitting in my options. So hopefully it stays up. Where is it now? Oh my, holy cow. It looks like it's a lot higher. I might have to hedge this thing. Or I probably should have stayed longer. Where is this now? 122. Woo. What about that, Freddie? Okay. So that's it. If I had a $5 option, 109. All right, we'll see. May not be here in the morning. We'll see. I'm going to be calling in. I fly at 7 and I land at 9, so we can't touch options until 9:30 anyway. And I'm not going to short here and then figure out how to. I could just short here and deliver the options, but if they go like a Tilray or something, maybe I don't know. Maybe whatever. We'll see. I'm like a little. Still going. All right. This could be like one of those, clipped episodes, on the fly. Or anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to get excited. We'll see if it's here tomorrow. Anyway, JP Morgan, what are you doing? Poking above this little descending trend line. We'll see if that continues. I wouldn't be long or shorted here, but it's acting decent. Coop, I kind of screwed that up. Why'd I screw it up? Because you know what? I should have held it. I said I'm going to hold it versus 112. It was down $4.50 last night when I was looking at it on that Mexico news, and then when it was only down $1.50, I'm like, you know what? I haven't traded this well. Let me just get out of it. And meanwhile, it traded above this and continued. So anyway, that's that on Coupa. I don't have it anymore. I shouldn't be playing it anyway because I just don't play that stock well. Some stocks you trust, some you don't. This seems like it's on its way again to another level. This broke this 137, held the moving averages, and at some point maybe gets above this 142. TTD, wow, look at that igniting bar. You never short an igniting bar because that's why it's called an igniting bar. It ignites more action, and look at that action. So that's acting well if you're trading that group well. Roku took the day off. Inside day, see what happens here tomorrow. Maybe it goes again depending on how we open. There's that. We'll see. Yeah, this was a great trade from 96, and now a little sideways action, maybe goes again. I'll tell you, today I screwed up Uber. How did I screw up Uber? Well, I made good money yesterday. I held it overnight. It was up a little bit. I sold some, and then I thought it was going to trade above that, what was the number, 45, 60 something. I bought more to get a cute trade through it, and I bought too much and didn't go through. It came back to 45-ish, so then below, so I had to get comfortable again so I could sit in it because I'm thinking at some point it's going to happen, but it didn't happen today. So I lost money long Uber. To me, it's not the end of the world. It just means it's going to need a little bit more time. Maybe tomorrow, we get another inside day. It did hold above this 44. So this is your price here. What is this? This is 44.28. I wouldn't be perfect on it, but it would be nice if that holds tomorrow. I'm not going to be here, but I would say, buying into the just say 44 area, would would keep it easy to hold. I don't know if they want to make it easier to hold. This is a bit of a doji. Sometimes you get a doji and it goes lower, but I'm still in it. Went up by 4 cents. So anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow. This could actually now be moved up to here, I guess. Little inside action, and then maybe it goes above this tomorrow or the night or next week. Lift was a little weaker all day. Anyway, you'll see now if it continues here to go up. ZM also had good numbers, traded above this wedge. Now it's back to the highs here. That's pretty cool to see. Maybe some of you guys played it after hours. I was talking on the VTF that if it got above 80 to 82, it's a good spot. And anyway, we'll see how it handles that spot. Let's see where Beyond is now. It probably came in everything already. Well, not everything. I was kidding. How high did it get? Got as high as 125. Come on, hold above 120 and be like a really good one, but we'll see. It's still good, I'm just saying, it'd be nice if it actually, is like a real big trade versus just like a really good option trade, because I'm not going to short it. I'm just going to sit and trade some on the open and wait till tomorrow, but hopefully, it keeps the majority of this. And if you traded it after hours, you don't have to hope that, because you might have just, played it through here and made some of your money, and if you book your money, they can't take it from you. So that's that. So with all that said, tomorrow I'm going to be on a plane early in the morning going to South Carolina for my nephew's graduation. He's going to Clemson, which is a cool school. I'm very happy for him. And lots of good sports, just great reputation. That's why you work so hard. So parents are going, got to do the right thing. I'm very light. I have some Uber left over. How can I not talk about AMD? AMD was my biggest winner today by a long shot. We came along on this day, held it yesterday. I actually was able to buy more through 30. And then, sold some along the way and still have some. This was a really nice day. This doesn't happen often. When this happens, you have to capitalize on it. And it did. So hopefully you capitalized on it. And if you sold it too soon, maybe just figure out how to use your tier system a little bit better. If you still have some, congratulations, nice hold. And Freddie, with that being said, setups don't happen often. When they happen, you have to be ready. You have to trust yourself. Hopefully I help you get involved. Hopefully I help you stay with them. That's my job. Sometimes I don't stay with them long enough. Sometimes I don't have big enough. Sometimes, we're all not perfect. But if we keep doing our job and working on ourselves, mentally and, with keeping ourselves balanced and happy and feeding the brain and looking at our trades, more often than not, you're going to be right. And then more often from that, you'll make more money and continue to have success. With all that said, have a great night. I'll talk to you in the morning. I'm not out of the country. I'm just going to be on a flight starting at 7. So, I will wake up, see the futures, and give you guys some levels. Have a good night.